West Ham United versus Brighton and Hove Albion then. Two familiar foes who will have squared off 4 times this season by the time February is through. Brighton convincing 4-1 winners when the sides met in the reverse fixture earlier in the campaign, but West Ham under new management are a much different proposition these days, and today they go in search of a 3rd win in 4 games in all competitions. Brighton won't make that easy though. They arrive having won 2 of their last 3 on the road in the league, and they are looking to complete the league double over the Hammers for the 4th time in their WSL history. So West Ham beaten 2-1 by Spurs here last week. They did go in front in that match, only to concede twice in the second half. Brighton wondering how they managed to lose 2-1 at home to London City Lionesses. 1-0 up, and they lost it despite only conceding 1 shot on target. An own goal, and then a goal in first half stoppage time doing for them. Vivian Asseyi wearing the captain's armband today, having made her 100th appearance last week. Let's take a check on the 2 teams then. The West Ham 11 shows 3 changes from that which started against Spurs. Kinga Shemmick returns from injury in goal. She's in for Megan Walsh. Tuva Hansen comes into defence for her full debut in place of Yu Endo, whilst Katie Zellum also makes her first start after joining on loan. She's chosen ahead of Katerina Gori, who had started every league game before today. Brighton are unchanged from last week's defeat to London City. Kiko Seike has been involved in 4 of these Seagulls' last 5 WSL goals and scored when the teams met in the reverse fixture. Arsenal loanee Rosie Kafaja also scored that day. Madison Haley continues to lead the line in the absence of Michelle Adjumang, with Fran Kirby also unavailable. A couple of the key players then, Chloe, to focus on. Firstly, Katie Zellum brings a wealth of experience to this West Ham midfield.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she's a great experienced head at international and also at club level. And it's quite lovely in a way that she's been reunited with Guarino, who she won the 2017-18 Serie A title with Juventus. But I think it's a real good opportunity for her to kind of really show her worth and show that she can keep a calm, cool head for a club that are fighting against relegation. So really excited to kind of see her step up for the team.
And in terms of Brighton, Kiko Seike is always pretty influential for them, isn't she? Particularly in this fixture and particularly of late.
Yeah, 100%. She's, she obviously signed a new deal with the club in January. She's been amazing for them. She's always one of those fan favourites. As soon as the fans know that she's going to be on the pitch, there's a little bit of excitement around her. And she's obviously been a massive key player. A massive role. As Brighton finished 5th in the table last season. So yeah, and a massive goals for her as well. I mean, she had over 30 goals since signing in 2024. So yeah, super excited to kind of see her today because she's one of my faves too, I've got to say.
Eddie Sine is in charge of this afternoon's match. Well, West Ham hoping for some home comforts. Just 1 victory in the league in front of their own supporters so far. It's the 2nd worst home record in the division after Everton. As I mentioned, Brighton have done pretty well so far. There's Rita Guarino looking for her first home win. To get back-to-back victories against Newcastle in the Cup and Leicester in the league after that heavy defeat against Chelsea in her first match in charge. And the key change she's made, I guess, Chloe, is switching to a back 3. West Ham getting to grips with that, but it always takes time, doesn't it, under a new manager, however they want to play. But have you seen some positive signs in recent weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I think, West Ham United, they've always come under a little bit of pressure because the defensive line has always been a little bit shaky. We saw a couple of really, sloppy mistakes creeping in towards the back end of just before Christmas. And, it's good in a way that she's trying to play a little bit more attacking football, trying to get the players on the ball a little bit more and trying to be more positive because they're definitely going to need that this half. And as we creep towards the end of the season, they're going to want to put goals on, and they definitely want to get a little bit of distance between them and that relegation zone.
As I say, putting a bit of pressure on, and Hanshaw winning it back now. Ueki, opportunity for Martinez early on here, and a shot fizzed right across the face of goal. Well, she is West Ham's main source of goals. 15 in only 26 appearances in the WSL. They're already the top scoring German in the history of the competition, and an early sighter for her there.
Really promising start there from West Ham, and that's what I was saying there about Guarino, trying to make West Ham a little bit more positive. And first opening minutes there, you've already got Martinez getting in this really good area and getting that shot away that just unfortunately went a little bit wide. But I'm hoping it's a promising sign of the way they're going to start this game.
Here's Nadozi with the ball at her feet, who gave away a penalty when these two met earlier in the season. Smacked upfield by the Brighton keeper toward Haley. That's nicely for Zellum. Big call, isn't it, to put Zellum in ahead of Corrie, given that she's been an ever-present, but I guess that's why Zellum's here.
I think you've got to, sometimes it's best to chuck new players in straight away. There's no point in having them sit on the bench. You've obviously got not too long again until the end of the season, and you want to see how Zellum's going to fit in, how she's going to play with the other players, how you can kind of adapt her play around what you've been trying to build in the season. So yeah, I think get them stuck in straight away. I'm not a fan of newbies sitting on the bench for long periods of time.
Here's Minami. Cinkovic turn it around the corner quickly for Venegas. Nice ball down the line from her. Eva Nystrom making sure that Olislagers couldn't get the cross in. Brighton looking for a positive start here. 3 defeats in their last 4 in the WSL. It's Chris Roberts in the dugout again as well today, by the way. Dario Vidosic still on compassionate leave following the passing of his father, Rado, who was previously head of women's and girls coaching at Brighton. It's a difficult time for the club in the last few weeks. He's been a steady hand on the tiller, in constant contact as well, he says, with the number 1. Zellum. Here's a say. He's got the captain's armband on because Corrie isn't starting. Flicked it out for Hanshaw, left-hand side. Say, clipping in, looking for the run of Ueki. It might come her way as well. Does have support. Wanted to turn it back Martinez way instead. Rondella's not going to be able to catch up to that. Bright start from both sides, though.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've been slightly more impressed with West Ham. 2 entries now into the penalty box, and if it wasn't for that ball just being delivered slightly too far behind Ueki, I think that would have been a really good shot on goal there. But yeah, really promising start from both. They clearly want it. They're trying to drive as soon as they get the ball, and yeah, I think it's going to be quite a passionate game.
Well, hopefully we'll get some goals as well. Here's Hanshaw, vastly experienced. Over 100 caps for a country, Australia. Got her first WSL goal at Leicester last month too. Zellum looking to punch it into midfield for Martinez. Haley trying to turn it around the corner in Seike's direction, but too close to Hanshaw. Here's a say. Well, as you might expect, the home team having more of the ball in the early exchanges. Nice shape about Brighton without it, though. Hanshaw unable to keep that one in.
Seeing a lot of control here from West Ham. They're quite happy just to dominate the midfield and just sort of keep the ball flowing, keep the ball moving. And yeah, I think Brighton they're doing their best to keep them at bay at the moment. But yeah, the gaps are open on this left-hand side with Vivian looking very direct and wanting to press up.
Bit of extra responsibility. And that armband round her bicep today. Last time I'm sure pleased to have King Shemek back in goal today after Megan Walsh had to deputise for a couple of games.
Yeah, I was looking at Semek in the warm-up. She looked absolutely perfect, pretty much. So yeah, she's definitely happy to be back on the field again. A couple of really tasty little saves there. So yeah, hopefully not too many to make today.
Very much the first choice here when available, the pole. And Charlie Rule may be doing the right thing here and taking as long as the law will allow over the throw, but Nordam couldn't control it, and Assay's got it back for West Ham, and they've got plenty forward here. Here's Zellum, taken off her toe by Haley. Yeah, right under the referee's nose, committed the foul. And it's a yellow card for Katie Zellum. Not quite 6 minutes on the clock. It's an awful long time for her to have to watch her step.
Not the start that she wanted. She's obviously now going to have to be incredibly careful there. I think she just let her get the better of her slightly, and I think in that situation, obviously, I think she could see the threat that Brighton were just about to pose. And sometimes you do have to take one for the team. You can't allow that threat to develop, but that is not the way she wants to start. Being quite sensitive now to the the next 85 minutes that she's got left to play.
It's Venegas for Brighton. Minami out for Rule. Norderman made a forward run for her. It's gone back to Minami instead. Venegas, who's become a fixture in the Brighton defence of late. 5th start in a row in the WSL for her. Minami looking for Seike. Got too much on that one though. Eight goals in the meetings between these two already this season, one in the League Cup and a 4-1 victory for Brighton in the reverse fixture in the WSL. Minami.
A lot more structure here in the West Ham's back line. As soon as they're sort of seeing the threat develop with Brighton, you can see they're sort of going back to that back five and making sure that Brighton don't have that space. So I was saying this.
Olislaga's almost worked it through, and Haley will get the shot away, and oh my goodness me, that didn't miss by much. And when she looks back on that later, she might be disappointed she didn't score, Madison Haley.
Really, really good opportunity there. Haley picking up the ball and just curling it wide of the post, and there was absolutely nothing that Semic could have done about that one. And just as I was saying there, West Ham are making the thirds, kind of trying to compress that area as much as possible to stop Brighton having those threats. Yeah, Brighton find a way through.
Just the one goal in the WSL for her this season. She did score at Forest in the FA Cup last month, Madison Haley. It's a pretty heavy burden to carry in replacing the threat of Michelle Adjumang, but she'll have to do it for the rest of the season. Simmons got a toe to that. Here's Haley again, trying to get it under control. Decent spell for Brighton. West Ham have packed their penalty area, though. Half-hearted appeals for a penalty. Simmons played it in. That'll be deflected behind for the first corner of the game. You were shaking your head there too, Chloe.
Not a penalty for me. I think, Haley's probably done the right thing and gone down. I think, it's one of those situations that it doesn't seem like there's particularly much on it. She's tried to play the ball there. It seems to me like a bit of a fair tackle. But maybe in another situation, another life that might have been given.
Yeah, there's no contact with the ball, is there? Referee had a great view of that.
I know, on the replay there, I was rethinking that one, to be honest.
Wasn't a great appeal from Haley or any of her colleagues. One of those that if we had VAR, you suspect we might have a different outcome. Anyway, first corner of the game. In toward the near post it went. Headed clear by Zellum and drifting harmlessly behind.
Yeah, disappointing corner in there from Brighton. Not really clearing that front post, but well from Zellum to clear that. I think she'll need a bit of a pick-me-up after that early yellow card.
Two-time WSL winner with Liverpool back in the day, Katie Zellum. Came off the bench in last week's defeat. Here's Ueki. This time trying to wrestle back a little bit of the momentum in this game after coming out the blocks quickly. Cascarino. Here's Hanshaw. With a little bit of space and then a beautiful turn away from Jelena Cankovic. Chipped it left-hand side looking for a save. Rule's got to be really careful with her touch here. And the referee obliged her. She was hoping for a free kick. It was a pretty soft one, but she got it nonetheless. Oh,
I think that was a little bit unfair there, I want to say. I think that felt a little bit quite... that was soft to me. I think, she'd obviously tried to anticipate where that ball across was coming from Zellum. And, that's the thing with the say. She's very much kind of on the front foot. She's looking for that space in behind. And, yeah, unfortunate there not to get that ball and create another chance for West Ham.
And then we're going all the way back to Nadozi. Here's Rule again. Put Simmons in a bit of trouble there, and Asay's managed to pinch it back. Any room for a shot? Came off Minami and span through to Nadozi.
Brighton doing well there to cover the dangers. 3 or 4 players immediately around Asay as soon as she picked up the ball. So, yeah, they're doing the best to nullify those threats.
Venegas. West Ham pressing Brighton and forcing them to go all the way back to Ndozi. Pitch is in pretty decent nick, by the way, given the rain that we've had and the fact that Dagenham and Redbridge played on it yesterday. Tells you something about the conditions. It's 12 UK time and we've got the floodlights on.
We did have a little bit of sun earlier, though. That was quite nice.
A golden 2-minute spell. Here's Nystrom. Nice way about West Ham when they got the ball in their possession. Unhurried. Passes generally finding their mark. Seke doing her best to unsettle them. Say trying to get it under control. Unsure going for the safety first option. Lovely feathered touch from Ueki. Searan on for Zellum. Brighton chasing shadows at the moment.
Yeah, this is really confident from West Ham. I'm super impressed. I mean, you know, when they're picking up the ball, they're only choosing the right moments to go forwards. And, you know, you're on the ball here. It looks like Shakira Martinez was just about to get onto it. But, yeah, I think the build-up play from the back is amazing. I think they're trying to find the right passes. They're trying to be accurate and intentional. So, yeah, this is a lot more confident and calm from West Ham.
Love to get the first goal. They've done it in the previous 2 league games. Minami. She's got the best passing accuracy of anybody in the Brighton team. Venegas chipping it forward, more out of hope than expectation. Jankovic trying to get it under control. Simmons, lovely little touch to get away from Ueki. Nice ball into the channel as well for Kafaji to chase after, and guided comfortably behind for a goal kick by Tuva Hansen, making her full West Ham debut.
Really good defensively there, reading the danger early, spotting the threat just behind her shoulder and making sure that she read that ball off. And all nice to a little rendition of Forever Blowing Bubbles as well. It's been nice to see the fans sort of blowing bubbles, making sure that they're being felt and being heard in the stadium today.
Well, it all helps try and get some momentum going here in Dagenham for West Ham. It's been their struggle this season, or part of it. Rianne Skinner having departed, of course, and Guarino now in charge. Here's Wanderler. Clever for Martinez. Asai grappling with Rule in the middle. That's where the ball was aimed, and Ndozi spotted that. And Asai not particularly happy with just how close Charlie Rule was getting to her there.
That was really good goalkeeping there from Ndozi. I think she did well to read the danger and come out and stop that threat. I think, yeah, slightly critical there. I'm not too sure what was going on with Asai, but, you know, she's gone down. She's obviously calling for it.
It was Martinez who'd put the cross in, just out a shot, really. That was the initial pushing and pulling between the two. Whack forward by Cascarino. That could turn into a really good ball as well for Wanderler. 3 in the middle in claret and blue. And West Ham will get their first corner of the game. Wanderler, the Swiss international, came in from Lyon in the summer. Hanshaw's come all the way over to the far side to deliver this. Very crowded 6-yard box here. Ndozi's going to have to come through a thicket of bodies to grab it. Clipped into the edge of that 6-yard box, and it was Nystrom who got her head to it, and her reaction says she's disappointed she couldn't put it either side of the goalkeeper.
Definitely, I think there's definitely some disappointment there. Really, really good opportunity for West Ham to get that first goal. Great delivery into the middle of the area where it's most congested, and Nystrom just directed that header straight towards Ndozi. I think, you know, a couple of feet either side and she'd have been causing problems, but, you know, especially at that range as well. She was maybe 2 feet from the goal line, but yeah, a really good sign, a really positive sign of things to come for West Ham. But yeah, Nystrom's going to be disappointed, but she was definitely going to want to get on that score sheet.
He's Northern. Not scored in the league yet this season, the Finnish defender for West Ham. Miss Cascarino recovered her poor first touch nicely there to flick it away from Seike. Nystrom back doing her day job. Nordam just wanting to keep Šemek honest. Cascarino hits Seike with a clearance.
I think with Brighton, it's slightly disappointing not to see the press with a little bit more intent. You know, I think when it's going back to goal, I think there's no real kind of passion and energy to try and get the ball back, and it's allowing West Ham to really play out from the back and find those lines. It's particularly down the left-hand side with a say, and now it seems like yeah, Brighton have kind of stepped off a little bit for me and allowing West Ham to really creep into this game a lot more.
Well, Haley's had the outstanding chance of the game. She and three others pinned on the edge of West Ham's box as Šemek looks to play out from the back. Nystrom managing to get it to near halfway. It'll be a Brighton throw though.
I think Brighton are getting themselves into good positions in terms of it looking like they're going to press, but they're not actually developing that press further and going to win the ball back. It's sort of like a half attempt at a press in a way, and I think they could cause some real danger to West Ham if they really follow through with some of these direct runs.
Unsure looking for Ueki. Picked to it by Minami. Here's Cankovic. Haley looking to hold it up with her back to goal, did well. Seike gave it back to Cankovic. She gave it away. And Dozy playing sweeper keeper for now. Minami. Said she's got the best passing accuracy for Brighton in the league this season. It's not that difficult to rack up that stat, is it, when you're mainly playing it across 10 yards to your fellow centre-half?
I was going to say there's been about 6, 7, 8, 9 passes, I think, in the last 30 seconds, so I can see why the stat is so high. But I mean, that's not to take away, obviously, her being a very accurate passer in the first place. But yeah, slightly, you'd expect that from that position a little bit more so.
Well, speaking of passes, as you can see, there is very little between them in terms of their completion rate so far. Cascarino presiding over this free kick. Got her jewellery sorted out now. I'm sure that'll never happen to her again in her career. What happened when she wanted to make her debut against Chelsea? Sent that one straight through to Ndozi. You can't miss even on a grey day like this in that luminous orange kit.
As a goalkeeper, I was always very disappointed to find that it was a luminous orange or a luminous pink or a luminous green.
So the idea is that it's supposed to put off a striker bearing down on goal. I'm going all the way back to the 2008 Champions League final. Petr Cech had one on, apparently, for that reason.
Yes, it's a psychological thing. It's supposed to make you feel a little bit bigger than you actually are to people coming directly at you. But yeah, on a fashion sense, it was slightly irritating.
It's a look few could pull off. Martinez unable to get hold of that. She's not really been able to get into the game yet, has she, Shakira Martinez?
No, I think it's slightly disappointing. You can see that the intention is there. I mean, she's getting into the right positions, but the ball's just not finding her when she's driving in to try and anticipate where the ball might be dropping into. So, yeah, I mean, super impressed with her, super impressed. I mean, last game as well, you know, scoring the goal. She's, yeah, I feel like the confidence is there. She just needs to pick it up a little bit deeper, perhaps, and try and drive that ball forwards and help out Asay a little bit more.
Fourth fastest non-Brit to reach 15 WSL goals after Miedemar, Kerr and Bunny Shaw. That's not bad company to be keeping.
The elites.
Here's Nystrom again. Brighton just standing off a little bit. Ueki. And Shaw. Asay up against Rule. And Shaw on the overlap. Asay came infield and looked to release Martinez. Bit too much weight on that though.
You can see then again, Martinez is trying to direct the ball where she wants it to go. She's pointing, she's trying to just run in behind the defenders, and it's just those little extra touches or the extra run on the ball, which is just making sure that she's not been successful so far.
Only Leicester and Liverpool fewer than West Ham's 12 goals in the league this season. He had an XG above 2 in one match so far. That was against Everton in their only home win so far. Inami. This time a couple of half chances. Madison Haley missed a really good opportunity for Brighton early on, and then we'll feel that she should have been awarded a penalty. In the midway point of the first half, nothing to separate these two thus far.
I think there needs to be a little bit more creativity from Brighton. I think, you know, they're comfortable passing it around the back, and like you said, sort of making sure the accuracy is definitely going up. But in terms of actually players moving off the ball and creating shots on that left or right hand side, I'm not seeing that so much, which is allowing West Ham to win the ball back quite easily and drive forward. So yeah, for me, the midfield needs to be moving about. They need to be trying to find those angles, create those triangles, but that doesn't seem to be happening so far.
Oh. Here's Jankovic.
West Ham also doing really well to condense the midfield. They're sort of dropping into a 3-2-5 as soon as Brighton are getting the ball and sort of condensing the area, making it really difficult to play those passes through. But Brighton need to be problem solving this, because it's going to be a long game if they don't.
And is that as simple as maybe just going long every so often and bypassing the midfield?
I think it's that. They're trying to play direct, and I really rate that they want to keep possession of the ball, but sometimes you just got to throw that ball forward. You know, they've got pace up top, you know, players who can run onto those balls, but yeah, at the moment it's feeling a bit static from Brighton.
Here's Minami again. She's seen plenty of it. Sake trying to provide some width for Rule. Hanshaw had spotted that. Rule again in no rush. For Brighton's ever presence this season. A nasty collision between her and Ueki just down in front of us. Rule's come off the worst in that. Looks as though they'll both be okay. It was the initial challenge, wasn't it, that pushed Rule into Ueki.
Bit of a clattering one there. I don't think Ueki saw Rule coming in behind her, but again, this is just one of the examples of you know, Brighton playing around with the ball, kind of passing around, but also at the same time West Ham just reading those passes so quickly and being able to pick up the ball and get back in possession. So Brighton need to learn to pass the ball a bit quicker and try and find some space in this midfield.
Here's Nordum. Just stumbling as she received that, and probably pretty grateful to accept a throw-in as a result. Here she is again, Searam, one of those who started every game for West Ham in the league so far. Sake. West Ham not letting Brighton settle in possession. It's a good ball from Minami to Nordam, but she couldn't keep it under control. Nystrom. Given away, and here's Haley, and she's found Nordam. That's really good recovery from Estelle Cascarino to help out Hansen.
Really great recovery there, reading that error very quickly and making sure that she got back in there to prevent any further danger developing. But again, with West Ham, I need to see a little bit more energy from them in switching the ball. There's so much space open up on that right-hand side, and I think they're trying to make this channel on the left-hand side with a save. But yeah, that space is open up on the right foot for them.
Nystrom, that's a cheap giveaway. Here's Seike, as is that, straight back to Nystrom. Offside's looking for that touch of quality, which might lead to the opening goal. I say he's going to get up from that. We could hear the crunch of boot on boot from up here. It's been a running battle, that one, hasn't it? A say versus rule, one to keep an eye on.
I'm really, really enjoying this. There's no holds bar between these two, and no love lost at all. I mean, you know, that was a very 50-50 challenge. You can see they've absolutely gone in for that, both thinking they're gonna win that ball. And I rate the energy on battles like this.
Salom's just about got enough on that to keep it away from Haley. Able to hold off Martinez. Ball given away cheaply. Here's Martinez, got to say, making her way into the middle. Ueki trying to get involved as well. Still Martinez. Hansen could maybe cross from deep, trying to get away from Kafaji. Did manage to get it over eventually toward Ueki. Grazed her forehead. It'll be picked up by Hanshaw. She's going to put it in first time. Cleared away by Rule. Nystrom. West Ham trying to build up a head of steam here as we head toward the half-hour mark.
Well, Ueki was inches away there from just about getting ahead. That was such a great lead from her as that ball was coming in. Such great build-up play.
Venegas able to get to that one on the edge of the box. Cankovic helped it further to safety. Here's Nystrom. Selim turned it round the corner. Martinez just trying to work it back to her. Rule. West Ham happy to let Brighton have the ball here. Here's Olislagers. It's a nice ball over the top, looking for Kafaji. Bring Brighton a throw at least.
I think I'd definitely advocate for them going a little bit more direct. I think, again, they do still seem quite static and they're not problem-solving that enough.
Venegas. Haley coming deep to offer an option. There's Venegas again. Kafaji furthest forward here for Brighton. Venegas surrounded by a whole host of West Ham defenders, but she's managed to get a throw in. Olislagers doesn't have a long one in her locker by the looks of things. Flag up for offside.
Sloppy there from West Ham. They've not made a lot of entries into West Ham's final third, and I think, you know, in situations like that where you've actually managed to get into a really good position, you've got players that are coming up to support the attack, and yeah, sloppy offside to be given in that situation.
Oh, and sloppy give away the ball as well, and Simmons had the shot which was on target, but Shemek didn't have to do much to keep it out. Given away by Cascarino. Ueki with Minami at her back. Searing got there ahead of Cankovic. Olislagers. Brighton trying to get on the front foot here.
you can hear the calls from West Ham as soon as the ball's going back to the Brighton back line. You know, West Ham saying step, get up, you know, push forward. They want to keep that high line. They want to stop those high balls going over, and they want to maintain that the offside there for them, which is really super smart. But you know, at the same time, Brighton are inviting the pressure in. You can see now Hanshaw trying to get that ball back and push them further back into their own half. So
and a slip from Rule allows a say in. Can she cut it back here? Might go all the way herself. Oh, it came off Martinez. And that made it easy for Ndozi.
Oh, what a let-off for Brighton there. So disappointing. West Ham had worked so hard. Hanshaw rallying the ball, and then Vivian Offside driving to that byline, trying to get that cut back, which she managed to get in, and it just sort of creeping off of Martinez's shins there, not being able to make the connection that she wanted to, and such an easy save there for Ndozi. But this is a sign of things to come for West Ham. They've been so promising this first half.
Anywhere but there, and it was a goal.
Anywhere.
There you go. West Ham have had more attempts so far than Brighton, but I still think that Haley one is the outstanding chance of the game that she put wide. Neither goalkeeper overly busy so far. Now Ueki. Ndozi might be about to be tested again. Ueki just about able to keep it in play. Say inside the penalty area, Siren 2. Oh, Ueki just lost her footing at the vital moment. It was a nice trick initially to fool Minami.
Really unfortunate there. I think she was trying to do a little bit of a step over. It got a little bit technical, and yeah, she just managed to push it out herself for the goal kick. But again, I mean, I'm absolutely loving that West Ham are finding so much luck on that right-hand side, delivering the balls in, and the left-hand side too. I mean, you know, the middle was congested, and they're problem solving that, and I really rate that from West Ham.
Martinez just letting Kafaji know that she's not going to have that much time to dwell on the ball. Good hold up play from Haley initially. Kafaji takes over. Whacked upfield by Zellum. Martinez eventually able to get it off Jankovic. And there's Wondler. Carried on her run. Venegas nearly cleared the stadium with that clearance. A meaty challenge between her and Wondler.
She definitely meant that one.
Made sure she got the ball, didn't mind if she got the player as well. Martinez unable to make it stick. Zellum made sure that West Ham were quickly back in possession. Nami just having a look over her shoulder to see where Ueki was. Well, West Ham will want to get to half-time at least with their sheet clean. But they have conceded 20 times in the WSL in the second half of games. That's more than Brighton have conceded first half, second half put together. So full concentration needed for the Hammers back line. Long and hopeful from Hansen. Martinez not that impressed with that.
I think West Ham needs to be careful. It seems to be sort of drifting back into just, you know, booting the ball over the top essentially, and trying to go a little bit more direct. But you know, the front line, I mean, the way they've been playing so far in the last 35 minutes or so has been really great. The build-up play from the back, you know, finding those angles, you know, chasing down the ball, and yeah, trying to play with each other. But at the same time, yeah, I'm just a little bit conscious now that West Ham is starting to maybe tire a little bit from the intensity and trying to go over the top.
Say's managed to rob Minami though. It's a Say. Shot deflected off Minami. He did well to get back into position. And those are only finding Cascarino. Ueki. Final 10 minutes of the first half, still waiting for the breakthrough in Dagenham. There's Rule. I'm sure got a toe to that. Cascarino likewise. Just gone a bit scrappy, hasn't it, last 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, I think you know, when Brighton are picking up the ball, especially Rule, she's kind of driving forwards and then stopping and coming back again. I really want to see a little bit more directors to continue those runs and really take the game to West Ham a little bit more. But I think like I said, like when the back line, it seems to be sort of passing around amongst the back, but not really being able to problem solve how to get back on the ball in the midfield area.
Simmons. Really very deep again, and she's been easily dispossessed there, and that's surely going to be a yellow card for the Brighton striker. First of her number to go on the referee's naughty list.
A little bit of frustration there creeping in from Brighton. They're making a couple of sloppy mistakes. West Ham are getting on the ball and then sort of creating a very dangerous situation where it's, you know, a 2-on-2, 2v1 style. And yeah, I think she kind of almost had to do that to prevent the danger developing. But yeah, not a good start for a yellow at 36 minutes.
Another player treading carefully for the rest of the game. Thumped from right to left by Nystrom. They say he's probably been the standout player in the game so far. Zellum. Mizueki. Seke going safety first with her clearance. Seen much of her in an attacking sense yet. We know she can so often have the key to unlock opposition defences, Kiko Seke. It's going to be a free kick in a decent position for West Ham.
Again, more frustration from Brighton. Another yellow given out. I think, you know, obviously West Ham are creating a lot of problems. They are doing their trickery as they're sort of getting into that final third. And Asay especially is becoming such a danger, such a threat to them. And I didn't see too much in that, if I'm going to be honest. But that is such a dangerous area for someone like Asay to be standing over the ball and hopefully getting that goal just before half-time.
Well, it was Cankovic for something she said to the referee rather than Norden for the challenge. He got the yellow card. Asay and Zellum, the two players over the ball. So Asay is the firm favourite. 4+1 in the wall to negotiate here. Little gap maybe that Asay could exploit. And Dozy hoping she's got her angles right. Is over the wall and tipped over the bar as well from Mendoza. It's a really good stop because that was bound for the top corner.
That is an absolutely incredible effort from Asay. I mean, she couldn't have done anything better there. You see the curvature of the ball in that literally just about to creep into that top corner. But if it wasn't for that strong Ndozi save, that was 100% going in. So yeah, incredible strike and incredible save. Both equalised.
Touched onto the bar, I think, as the corner is sent in from Zellum. Dozy got something on that, and then Hanshaw had a swing, but something happened in the penalty area which has alerted the referee. Venegas has come off worse in that collision. She's okay though. Bumped into Siren, I think. A
lot of bodies in that box, and I think Ndozi again doing super well to come through that sea of bodies and try and get a hand to it to punch the ball out. It's not easy when that ball's being whipped in and you've got to go through an absolute crowd, but she's done super well there trying to clear that danger. But I think she's inadvertently maybe hit one of the players there.
Tallest players on the pitch, the Nigerian international, looking for a 5th clean sheet of the season in the league today. Minami looking long for Seke. And Seke trying to score a wonderful goal, and she has. Oh my goodness me. What a piece of vision from Kiko Seke. Absolutely sensational. She's hardly had a look in the opening 40 minutes. Well, she's made her mark on this game now, all right. A wonderful goal to make it West Ham United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1.
Absolutely incredible vision there from Seike. You can see that Semic was well off her line. I think she was caught in that half space of wanting to come out for the ball, not too sure whether her defenders were going to pick it up for her there. And yeah, seeing her off her line and doing that cheeky little dink over the top, and the way that it just rolled in there was absolutely phenomenal. But this is what we were saying about Brighton. They were trying to find that way through, and actually going direct, getting that ball over the top and catching West Ham off balance was 100% the thing they needed to do for this game. But against the run of play, I do feel a little bit sorry for West Ham here. I didn't see that one coming.
Well, it's one thing to think about doing that, it's quite another to execute it. Astonishing piece of skill. 6th goal of the season for her. Scored in the reverse meeting between these two. Scored here in the league last season as well.
It's definitely picked up the Seagulls fans. There's quite a big Seagulls contingent here. I've actually seen someone dressed as a seagull.
Stealing somebody's chips, no doubt. Venegas. Simple game, really, isn't it? Football, one ball over the top, one touch finish, there you go.
Sometimes that's all it takes. I mean, there was 3 passes between coming out from Mendoza and then that going in the back of the net. And I think, they caught West Ham off guard. They've been so astute with their defending, dropping back into that back 5, making sure to kind of, limit the chances that Brighton are really having. But all it takes is, like you said, one ball and it's in the back of the net.
Here goes Cankovic, looking to add a second before half-time. Seike, the goal scorer. Oh, now then, where's that hit? Nystrom? Couple of half-hearted appeals from Brighton players.
It feels like the goal's given Brighton a little bit more confidence. They're definitely trying to push further on to get that second just before half-time.
Venegas. Here's Rule. Guided header from Rule. Nordam flicked it back her way. Here's Seike. Shemek in the wrong position for that then, or is that just about the vision of Seike more than anything the goalkeeper did?
I think it was a bit of both. I mean, I can see what Semek was trying to do. She was trying to sort of play sweeper keeper, come out to meet the ball. She wasn't too sure whether her defence were going to be able to sweep that out for her. But yeah, it's one of those situations you want your keeper to start high up the field so they can kind of get to those balls that do come over the top. But sometimes it just catches you in that half space. So I'm not too critical of her positioning. I'm always a little bit reluctant to criticise a goalkeeper.
Yeah, Union out in full force.
Oh, 100%. There's loyalty there.
Here's Minami. Not long to go in the first half. Can't imagine we'll have too much in the way of stoppage time. Not needed a physio on so far. Nordam. He'll be pleased, obviously, with the fact that his team have managed to get the lead. And there is said Seagull. Sure, it seemed a good idea at the time. Minami. His Rule. Well, that's a lovely threaded ball for Nordam. Went backwards rather than forward. Found Cankovic eventually. Here's Seike. That's a nice flick. Rule, any room for a shot, wanted to work it left-hand side instead.
A little bit frustrated from Brighton. You know, they want to capitalise on the momentum that they built from that first goal, and I think, you know, they're getting themselves into good areas, but then going backwards, and that I'm finding that frustrating, because they are actually creating good opportunities, but they get the ball and then it goes back, and then it goes across the back line and then comes back again. So yeah, I think they just need to be a little bit more direct and build on this momentum.
Just the one added minute, and we're halfway through that now. I feel like Brighton have got several more gears they could go through, and yet they lead by a goal to nil. Ball smack straight at Jankovic, and Kafaji almost managed to get on the end of that as Hansen breathes a huge sigh of relief.
A little bit of a nervy moment at the back there.
He hasn't had a look at his watch yet, so we play on for a bit longer. There we go. Brighton and Hove Albion ahead here, thanks to a moment of magic from Kiko Seike. A game that needed illuminating on a grey day in Dagenham, and boy, did she do that. Big half-time team talk coming up for Rita Guarino, though, as she looks to turn things round and get her first home win as Hammers boss. At the break at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, it's West Ham United 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 1. No changes by either coach so far. I mean, both actually with reason to criticise their team, I suppose, in terms of Rita Guarino not being ruthless enough in front of goal, and for Brighton just playing below their best, despite the fact that they're in the lead.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'm more disappointed, I think, with West Ham. They've had so many opportunities, you know, the Martinez just on the goal line, you've had Vivian Assaye driving into the box, and every single time it kind of feels like the luck's just not been on their side, it's just not gone in the back of the net. But at the same time, you've got Brighton, you know, playing a bit flat today, a bit static, you know, not being able to find those passes through the midfield, and, you know, when they are driving forward, stopping and going backwards again. And yeah, I think there needs to be a bit more tenacity from the Brighton side, and definitely to capitalise on, you know, the success that they've had in the first half, despite it sort of being against the run of play.
Salem's header. Jankovic able to work it back to Ndozi. Oh, trying to get that under control and couldn't. Here's Assaye, he was the bright spark for West Ham in the opening 45. Salem found a little pocket of space to get the ball and asked Assaye to chase after it, which she's always willing to do. And she'll get there ahead of Rule, and it's a decent cross as well. Wondler was attacking it. Couldn't quite get the connection.
Really good delivery there from Assaye. She did so well, but and you can see Wondler's leap, and I thought, oh, is she going to get it? It was salmon-like. I nearly leaped with her, but yeah, just a couple of inches off there, and I think that would have been the back of the net, because Ndozi was well out of position trying to cover the front post there.
It's Cascarino. West Ham maybe with a flea in their ear coming out the dressing room. Shemek, who I'm sure won't look back on the goal conceded with any fondness, but as we said at the time, really, you've just got to credit Seike. Here's Simmons. Kafaji, she's going to go for it from range too. Shemek always confident it was going wide.
Kafaji there looked around her, didn't see too much support, and you know, no one really coming to reinforce what she was trying to build with the attack there, and just went solo, and you know, the effort didn't go too far wide. So yeah, not a bad choice really. She didn't have many other options going on.
Remember, West Ham have conceded 20 times in the second half of games so far this season. Brighton have conceded 17. They've now got a goal difference of +1. That Seike strike their 18th of the season. Assaye trying to flick it into the path of Wondler, but too close to Ollie Slagers.
Good vision there. I see what she was trying to do, but just not enough on it to take that ball through to Wondler, who was anticipating that yeah, that little through ball.
Brighton will be back here in a couple of weeks' time in the FA Cup. Already played in the League Cup as well. So 4 times they'll face off this season. West Ham did win here in that League Cup tie back in October. Much changed lineups for both from that day to this, though. Nystrom and Haley coming together. It was a break for Seike. Cascarino trying to get the block on. Well, was there something from Kike Seike that might have got her in a bit of trouble here? A little flick out at Hanshaw, who had to go back.
Little tussle between them both there. It's very, very feisty.
Whether referee's just letting Hanshaw know that he did make note of that mentally. Haley. Seike putting the cross in. Kafaji, the only player in blue and white anywhere near it.
Seike did well there to get that cross in. Not a bad area, maybe just overhit it slightly, but again, not enough seagulls in the box there to really capitalise on the second ball or it going over.
Salem boxed in by Chankovic, did well to find Wanderler. She's done well to keep her feet. Touch initially from Nystrom, but she was able to recover it. Pretty low-key start to the second half from both.
Not too much happening. It seems a little bit shaky from both. Yeah, I would have been really loved to be part of the changing room to kind of see what the vibes were. Because I hope it's super positive from West Ham. I think they were doing all the right things, and I do feel slightly sorry that they weren't able to capitalise on some of those earlier chances. But I definitely think they've got a goal in them if they continue as they were in the first half. And Brighton just need to be a little bit more on the front foot.
From Shemek. Lovely little flick on that from Shakira Martinez. Like he felt she was fouled. Referee couldn't have been closer and disagreed. Here's Olislagers. Like he saw that coming. Siren on for a say. Again, she's got the better of Rule. She's winning that battle with ease at the moment. Look how quick across the ground she is too. Can she go all the way? Only Minami's intervention prevented that from being the case. It's brilliant running from Vivian Asay.
Amazing direct run there. You can see her first thought as soon as she picks up that ball. She is lifting her head and seeing who's there, but she wants to take her on anyway. And absolutely incredible save there from Minami, because that was surefire going to be hitting the back of the net with the confidence that Asay was showing on that run there.
Well, she's in the middle trying to sniff out an equaliser here. Again, a packed 6-yard box. Zalem was about to take the corner. Now, I would call that fussy. Oh, brilliant. That little touch from Zalem has put it perfectly placed. Got to be overhanging the quadrant.
Very precise.
And it comes from Zalem. Mandela will look to recycle. It's easy for Ndozi.
Could see what she was trying to do there, trying to get the ball back in the box, but yeah, just not enough on it, and straight in and Ndozi as well. That was a fairly easy one for her.
Venegas. Right, looking for a third away win of the season in the league. I mean, been victorious at Everton and London City already. Nystrom tidying up with Madison Haley breathing down her neck and leaving her in some discomfort as well. Already on the yellow card, of course, Haley. Not that that was worth one, but be careful not to get two more.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much on that. I think she just followed through with the run. I don't think it seems like an accidental clattering, that one, and Nystrom looks hopefully quite, I think she's okay, getting back to her feet now, so nothing too crazy in that one.
More dazed than anything else, the Finn. From Hammarby a year ago. Alice Lagers to take the throw. Was she who got late fourth goal for Brighton when these two met earlier in the campaign? Rule. Such a cliche, but feels pertinent today. The next goal's a really big one, right? If Brighton get it, it's really difficult to see West Ham coming back.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. I think, I mean, West Ham have, I think, been the better side today so far. But at the same time, I think 2 goals might feel a little bit of out of reach for West Ham to recover from. But again, West Ham get the equaliser, and I can see them going on to win this game because, yeah, the better chances, I think, have been with them. I think the way they're playing at the moment, it feels full of confidence. They're being direct. Again, we've got Vivian Asai on the ball, wanting to go, wanting to run, and, you know, bodies in the box getting with her.
Can she find one? It's Ueki. She's aimed it at, who got a toe to it, but couldn't steer it goalward. Asai must be saying, I can't do much more for you guys.
The deliveries have been absolutely pinpoint. Yeah, I mean, Ueki did her absolute best just to try and get a toe to kind of lift it almost past and Dozy, but so unfortunate. That's 2 now in the past 5 minutes or so that Asai has delivered in, and she'll be saying to that front line, get in front and deliver and you know, create and make those opportunities count.
Hard work for Charlie Rule at right back for Brighton at the moment. Kafaji. Didn't manage to keep it in play. No clean sheet again for West Ham today. Most goals conceded, most shots faced as well. 33 times they've been breached. And yet to register a clean sheet in the league this term. They need to score 2 without reply if they want to get a goal here, but the lowest scoring teams in the division, that's a tough ask.
It's always been a hard one with West Ham. I don't think the stats of the season always necessarily reflect the performances that they put in. And, you know, we have seen a lot of promising signs from West Ham, especially and particularly in this game. I mean, you know, they've set up well, they've defended well, they've been pushing forwards as well and creating chances. But, you know, sometimes they're just sort of luck isn't on their side sometimes, and a lapse in judgment sometimes means the result goes against them. And I think it has been quite unfortunate. It's almost, yeah, I want them to have a bit of good fortune, and it never seems to come with West Ham so much.
Here's Martinez, maybe she can provide something for them. Stepped away from Simmons, offloaded it to Asai. Martinez wants it back here. Asai looking deeper than that. And Dozy managing to catch her own punch.
Again, really promising signs from West Ham. They're driving down that left-hand side. Shakira Martinez absolutely key to this chance. She's been incredible too, but not really seen much of the ball. And again, another incredible delivery from Asai. And Dozy going to punch, kind of miss-punching it almost, and being quite fortunate in being able to collect that fairly easily. But you know, they've got bodies in the box. They're just not able to get on the end of them.
Here's Seke at the other end. He went down. Cascarino got it away. He did manage to get the first touch there ahead of Asai. Activity on the Brighton bench, by the way. So it's going to be a double change. Wonderla. Martinez. Another nearly but not quite moment for West Ham in attack. Siren under a bit of pressure. Move it back to Cascarino quickly. to a save. Like a foul by Simmons, and indeed it was. That will give the opportunity for the Brighton changes to be made. But it would have done had they been ready. Nice trim. Mandela looking to play it into Ueki's path, but only finding Cankovic. Angela up to a say. Flick from her, trying to buy a yard of space. Giving Rule no time whatsoever. And they want to make the changes now before Rule takes that throw in. It's going to be she who's one of those who gives way. Not an easy afternoon for her by any stretch of the imagination up against Vivasei. She can puff out her cheeks and have a rest now as McLaughlin comes on to take her place.
I think she'll definitely need the rest. I mean, Vivian's been such a threat on that left-hand side, you know, taking the ball to her, being super direct, and the pace that Asei has, she's really taken that ball forwards. And, you know, I think especially in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, you know, she has had the better of Rule, so I can see maybe why she's been pulled back and benched on this occasion. But it's also not particularly always Rule's fault. She's been left in situations where she has been quite isolated, trying to deal with that threat by herself. I mean, just before she was taken off the bench there was no one around her for even to play the ball to once she got it. So I think, yeah, Brighton aren't really offering each other a lot of options at the moment. They are playing a little bit in isolation on occasion. So, yeah, making it a lot tougher for themselves.
The change, by the way, was Olag Tvedten on for Rosa Kafaji. That's a second appearance off the bench for Tvedten, the Norwegian brought in from Vålerenga last month. So Brighton with a double substitution. West Ham yet to make a change. Cascarino under pressure from Seike, just to make do with the throw. I don't think it'd be too long before West Ham make a change of their own, but have they got the quality on the bench to really affect things in attacking areas? I
could definitely see a change taking place. I think you know, West Ham definitely looks a little bit more promising, a little bit more feisty in the first half, and they seem to be sitting back a little bit more. And there are a few opportunities being created by Viv, but not really in any other opportunities, you know, in other parts of the field. So I can see that change happening. Who they're going to bring on, I'm not too sure. They do have a couple of you know, substitutes they can make, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's pulled off. Because I think everyone is pulling their weight at the moment, to be fair to them.
I know Martinez, they've got the goal threat. She couldn't get hold of that one, though. Here's Haley, spinning it round the corner quickly. It was a good ball for Venegas, who's forward here, and all of a sudden has a clear sight of goal and hammers in Brighton's second of the game and takes them one step closer to 3 points on the road. Where did she pull that from? The Colombian with her first ever WSL goal, and it was a thumper just past the hour. West Ham 0, Brighton 2. Manuela Venegas smacks Brighton toward 3 precious points here.
The Seagulls, again, absolutely ecstatic in the background of this. And, you know, it kind of came from nowhere, essentially. You know, Venegas picks up that ball, that loose ball, and absolutely direct. And, oh, my God, the strike is absolutely perfection. She's put absolute power behind that, and there's absolutely nothing the goalkeeper can do in that situation. But, again, a Brighton goal completely against the run of play there, and from a sloppy mistake from West Ham, they're going to be so disappointed because they don't deserve to be 2-0 down at this stage. They've put in quite the fight today and quite the battle, and another scoreline that potentially doesn't reflect, you know, what the effort they've been putting in.
Two fabulous finishes from Brighton in this game, really belying the quality that we've seen generally, if we're honest. West Ham going to respond by making a double substitution. Wandler, the first player, going off. She's coming off the near touchline to us. Siren is the other player giving way. So Fionn Morgan, back from injury, comes on to go in at right back. And Katerina Gori on too. Not exactly attacking changes those, Chloe.
No, I think I'm slightly surprised that maybe it wasn't a little bit more forward thinking in the changes. But again, sometimes you do need those experienced heads to kind of, you know, shore up and make sure that West Ham get themselves back into this game. They still have a very long time to do that. This isn't the final few minutes of the game, and I think it's about the maturity that they can show and the composure that they can show to bring themselves back, because they do have those chances there. It's just the conversion just hasn't been there.
Here's Simmons. Absolutely have to get the next goal in the game now, the Hammers. Interesting as well that it was Siren who was brought off for Gori, given that Zalum's on a yellow card. Foul by Asay over on the far side. Haley managed to make it stick. One back at the second attempt for Tvedton. West Ham got a player down, but Brighton getting on with it. Gori, who's just come onto the pitch, who's hurt. Looks as though she's going to be okay, but quite the introduction to the game. One sub on another there. She'll soldier on, and she helped get her team back into this game.
Walking a little bit gingerly, but she's made of strong stuff, is Katerina Gori.
Got to go back to December of 2024, by the way, for the last time that West Ham came from behind to win a WSL game. That was against Crystal Palace here. Nudge in the back from Haley. It's from Hansen, met by the head of Venegas. No idea what she was doing that far up the pitch, by the way, Venegas, but she sure can finish. Norden didn't quite get enough on that. McLaughlin did well to recover. Ball over the top for Seke to chase is beaten. Cascarino. Oh, and Seke's touch was heavy. Cascarino just thought about having a little nibble there.
I think West Ham have to be a little bit careful. I mean, they have got bodies at the back. I mean, defensively, the line is there. They're in the right positions, but they are allowing themselves to be a little bit blindsided by some of the runs that Kika Seke is making. And, you know, one ball over the top, unpicking all that work is... they need to be a little bit more switched on in those situations.
Now, Haley might well be offside here. Yeah, flag's gone up just as she got the touch around Shemik.
Again, another opportunity where you've got a player just sitting just behind the back line, and I think that was a very close call. So I think they've done well to keep the line on that occasion, but it does feel like Brighton are just going to nick another one off the back of some of this defensive positioning.
Everton looking for a new manager, a goal to the good away from home. Smacked forward by Shemek. Tvedton trying to get it under control. Cankovic. Cloughlin. Tvedton's little touch. Chance for a third for Brighton here, maybe. No, flag up again, far side. Referee's assistant bang in line with that. 3/4 of the way through the game then. 2 excellent Brighton goals, one from Seke and one from Venegas. Look to have got them well on their way to an away victory here. Gorry. West Ham haven't actually scored in the last 15 minutes of a WSL game so far this season. Zellum. Raki trying to get the flick on. It was a foul by Venegas according to the referee.
It definitely feels like Brighton are getting more of a foothold in this game. It's kind of felt for the majority of the game that the West Ham have had that slight dominance over Brighton and had the better chances. But I think since that second goal, it does feel like West Ham heads have dropped. It feels a little bit more negative, and you know, when they're getting the ball, they're not going forward as much. But this is a real good opportunity to try and create something.
Zellum's free kick, or say almost got a touch to it. Kept in play by Haley over on the far side to prevent the corner. Straight up to Nordum. Oh, Gorry missed it. Player over here is Tvedton. Flag stays down this time. And Tvedton got carried away.
We've seen a couple of these sloppy mistakes start to creep in from West Ham, you know, not clearing their lines, not doing their basic defensive duties, and we did start to see a lot of that just before the Christmas break too. And you know, to be undone by things like this is disappointing for West Ham when they have really played quite well this game. It's frustrating to see.
Gorry. She'll feel she's got a point to prove, having lost her place in the side from the off today. This is the player who took it, Zellum. A little short, picked off by Seke. Brighton looking to wrap it up here. Seke showing too much of it to Cascarino. Nordum on for Cankovic. It's Venegas. McLaughlin, plenty forwards here for Brighton. Cross hit Cascarino, some appeals for handball. Working nicely, taken on her chest and laid off to Zellum. Tug of the shirt from Tvedton. Is the referee going to give a yellow card for that? Yes, he is.
Such an obvious one there, and so unnecessary. There wasn't enough about the West Ham attack that looks to be potent enough to deliver that kind of foul.
Now Morgan, first involvement for her, back from injury today. Ueki. Nice return ball. Morgan's cross wasn't bad either. Oh, just too high for a save and wouldn't come for Martinez. It's behind for a corner. It's about as much quality as West Ham have shown in attacking sense all day. That really good move.
Really impressive there from Fionn Morgan. She did so well with that 1-2 play to try and get that ball in, the perfect error, and you could just see Vivian Asay inches away from putting that in the back of the net with her head. But again, that's kind of quintessential with what's been happening in this game.
Played into the near post. As Haley stopped that going behind for a corner, must have been close. And then she gets the decision for the coming together with Martinez. She's going to need some help here as well, the Brighton striker. More about the awkward landing, was it? Or maybe caught on the top of the boot.
Yeah, she was clutching her foot there, but it looked like she'd landed quite heavily on her head, so I initially thought it was going to be a head injury, but yeah, it's it does look to be more of a foot-related, maybe a stamp on the boot, like you said. A stud to the foot is never nice, especially in these cold conditions when your toes are already freezing.
Well, let's take a look back at the difference-making moments in this match, shall we? Certainly nothing wrong with seeing these 2 goals. Again, unbelievable this from Seike.
I could watch this over and over again. It's the way that she just has that deft touch just before she launches that lob over the head of Semic, and there's really nothing that she can do. And again, with Venegas picking up that ball, driving forwards, being so direct, and the smash in the back of the net, the corner, there was absolutely no chance for the goalkeeper there. And again, both goals kind of coming out of nothing and totally unexpected. So yeah, Brighton have done very well to capitalise on the mistakes that West Ham have made, because otherwise, yeah, it would still be a very equal game at this point.
And Venegas, one of those that a manager was probably thinking, what on earth are you doing there? Oh, brilliant, yeah, you must get in the box more often.
One of those nosebleed situations, but I think she found herself in such a fortunate position. I think, especially with the power that she can put on those shots, I mean, it kind of almost made sense, and you can see how much it meant to her and the rest of the team as well. The celebrations were wild, especially in front of the big Seagull fans over in the corner as well. So, yeah, a lovely moment for the squad.
Shakira Martinez did get a yellow card for this in the end. Little rake down the back of the heels, maybe. Referee had a good view of it. Haley's got to go off for 30 seconds, having had the treatment, of course. And there was the card for Martinez eventually. 5 bookings in this game, doesn't feel like that kind of match. There's going to be a 6-1 here for Ndozi for taking too long.
The referee isn't shy of a yellow card.
Wanted the ball back in play quicker. Putting Ndozi into Ndozi, maybe. Cankovic. Svensson couldn't get it under control. Time running out for West Ham here, worth repeating that stat. They haven't scored in the final 15 of the WSL game yet this season. Need to do it at least twice if they're to avoid defeat in this one. Seike sliced that back toward her own goal. Venegas got ahead to it.
I think in these final 15 minutes, Brighton are going to want to keep composure. I think for them, obviously, it's all about trying to maintain this lead, trying to keep and protect it, and trying to not do anything silly to allow West Ham to have that peak on goal and to potentially get some more confidence to grow in them. Because once it becomes 2-1, it really is anyone's game back again. And you know, you've seen Ndozi there picking up that yellow card for time wasting. But those are exactly the kind of things that Brighton will want to do to delay the game, to make sure that West Ham aren't getting on the ball.
Simmons, lucky, working hard to get back at her. Couldn't get the ball though. Not enough on the pass to find Seike.
It's really hard in these moments as a team when you've got that lead, but you also know that the team is pressing strong and wanting to get at least a goal back. That you don't go scrappy and that you don't start boosting the ball long, because as soon as you start to do that, you will tire very, very easily and allow yourself to open up to more mistakes. So again, it's about keeping the ball, it's about keeping that composure and trying to see out this game in style and not stop boosting the ball long to try and get it away and alleviate that danger in the short term.
Here's McLaughlin. That was a neat and tidy pass. Haley now. Now Svensson. She can wrap it up here. Good save from Šemić with her feet. Wouldn't drop for Nordum on the follow-up. Now Nordum's going to get a yellow card. The count goes up to 7. Decent opportunity that for a third goal though.
Definitely another Brighton capitalising on sloppy defending essentially from West Ham, and I think she was super unlucky, but great save there from Semic. She stuck her foot out, she made herself as big as possible, she narrowed down that angle, and she was quite fortunate in a way because the ball did end up in quite a dangerous area of the pitch, but she was lucky that the West Ham defence were able to get back and clear that danger. But yeah, great stop from the keeper.
Very clearly a tug of the shirt by Martinez on Venegas. Referee can afford a smile about that because it's one of the easier decisions he's had to make today.
He doesn't miss much, this referee.
Looks like it is going to be a 4th WSL double for Brighton against West Ham then. It's recently in 2022-23. Ball over the top for Seike. Tvedten again in the middle here. Haley joining the party as well. Seike fires it over. Nystrom got it away. Picked up by Simmons.
Really good to see Brighton and being on the front foot and showing this positivity. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised on this rate if they get that 3rd goal, because there has been a couple of really good chances. So yeah, really glad to see them not creep back defensively and try and sit on this and try and extend the lead.
So far so good for Chris Roberts. I'm sure Dario Vidicic is watching on somewhere. Seike. Zueki. Which one was a say? He got left in the tank. She flicked it up to Martinez. Still bombing forward. Vivasay. Venegas comfortable in dealing with it though. Enemy, not so much. Tvedten heavily involved since her arrival. Carried on her run. Seike put it into her path, but Cascarino got there first and got a little nudge in the back as well. Cascarino. West Ham at Everton on Sunday. That feels like a big one. Brighton will host Arsenal next weekend. Zueki. Morgan, can she deliver again? She's gone for it herself there and it's crept in. And West Ham have a lifeline. Not one and Dozy will look back on with any fondness whatsoever, but Fionn Morgan off the bench to make a difference for West Ham. Now then, could they?
Absolutely incredible for Fionn Morgan there. I mean, she's picked up the ball in what you don't think is too much of a dangerous area, maybe going to whip the ball in, but then ends up delivering a sort of half cross that becomes a shot, and Ndozi just wasn't ready for it. The positioning was a little bit off there. She's managed to get a hand to it, but it's just crept over her and gone in, and you can see it was almost apologetic from Fionn Morgan when the camera panned to her, and she didn't appreciate that was going to be going in the back of the net, but it has. We've got 8-9 minutes now plus stoppage time, and yeah, can West Ham get themselves back into this game? And this is not what Brighton wanted at this point.
A goal which didn't look likely, it must be said, not even as it left her boot. Here's Gorry. Set for a grandstand finish now then. Add stoppages on, we've probably got 10 minutes to go.
It feels like these teams only score when it's against the run of play.
Morgan. Cascarino. Bit more urgency about West Ham now. Rita Guarino down on her haunches, directing traffic. Zalem. Oweki will get to this. And we found Minami with her cross though. All of a sudden Brighton really under the cosh at the moment. Might be some room for them on the break though. Here's Nordum.
It feels like a goal that came out of nowhere for West Ham. It's really lit a fire under them to try and get this equaliser. I mean, you can see the intensity that the fans have definitely stepped it up a couple of notches. They're getting behind the team a little bit more now. They were starting to be a bit deflated as we saw the first, the last 10 minutes start to creep in. But you can see West Ham already pointing to go up, pressing higher, but trying to get that ball. But Brighton also don't want to concede this lead that they've created.
Nice trim. Zalem looking for the run of Morgan. It's a terrific pass. We've seen her quality from this position already. Smacked over by Morgan and kicked away by Ndozi. Improvised but effective from the Brighton stopper. Pressure's not off yet though. Back in from Hansen. That time Ndozi can take it easily.
Really, really good again from Theo Morgan. A lovely whipped ball in. I mean, I think Ndozi was playing it safe there. I probably would have gone with her hands to pick that up and prevent the danger developing again in that second phase. But you've got to do what you've got to do, and sometimes it's not pretty. But as long as it's cleared, she's done the job there.
Here's McLaughlin. This with Martinez in close attendance decided it was safest to go back to a goalkeeper. Here's Zalem. Martinez on the chase, and Ndozi didn't get there. This for 2-2. It's in. West Ham have completed their comeback. And Shakira Martinez brings them level with hardly any time left on the clock. Who saw this coming? They've scored twice in 4 minutes here to come from 2 down to bring it back to 2-2. No surprise Martinez has got one. Another one that the Brighton goalkeeper did not cover herself in glory with, but we're all square.
Expects the unexpected in this game. I mean, Shakira Martinez just getting that deft little touch to take it past Ndozi, and I think it's one of those as a keeper. She's obviously got to it first, so she has made the right decision, but the clearance unfortunately bounced back off Martinez, and she was able to definitely get that in the back of the net. I mean, she's done such a great job there to keep calm under pressure and get that equaliser. And you can see how much it means to her, how much it means to the fans. I mean, the equaliser, this is not what Brighton wanted. We thought they were going to be pushing for that third goal to make it a 3-0 win for them, a very conclusive 3-0 win. But it's it's turned the game on its head, and I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham now go on and try and push on and get the winner. I mean, Rita Guarino, she's doesn't look too ecstatic. She looks a little bit stressed, if I'm honest, and I can understand why. It's been a game that you never know what's going to happen next.
Well, will we get a winner? 3 minutes and stoppages to find one. Well, I was about to say, Chloe, I love the fact that you've gone for a player of the match who's going to finish on the losing side, but that might not be the case now.
Yeah, absolutely. The player of the match that I've chosen is Vivian Asay. I think she's been absolutely outstanding this game. She's been so punchy. She's created such a presence and such a difficulty for the Brighton back line, especially Raul, who she's had the beating on for most of the runs that she's put forward. She's used her pace. She's tried to whip in those balls. They haven't always come to fruition with some of the forward lines not being able to get on the back of it. But I just think she's been so passionate, and she's deserved this equaliser. She's deserved to hopefully push on and try and get something out of this game. So yeah, very well deserved for it from me.
Header from Nystrom. West Ham asking all the questions now. And they get 4 additional minutes once the clock strikes 90. In this battle to avoid the relegation playoff heating up all the time at the foot of the WSL table. Here's Seike. Leicester beaten yesterday. Liverpool currently winning. West Ham have fought back. They've scored twice in the space of 4 minutes and 22 seconds. We kept saying Brighton weren't playing particularly well, but they're going to be kicking themselves if they don't leave here with 3 points, having led for so long.
Yeah, I think it's disappointing from Brighton. They had such a good opportunity to walk away with points today. You know, being 2-0 up, that's such a conclusive, what we thought was going to be a decent lead for them. They were pushing on also to try and get that third goal, which I really valued. But at the same time, again, sloppy mistakes and, you know, unfortunate ball bounces, especially with Ndozi, who's come out again.
Well, she got it right that time. Heart leapt up into her throat, I've no doubt.
It really takes a lot of nerves still to have got it slightly wrong on that first one, to come out again with such bravery there.
In from Martinez toward Ueki. Venegas got something on it, but not much. Here's Zelen. As it stands, West Ham are going to finish today bottom of the table, but it won't feel like that. Clipped in toward Asai. Ueki slung a foot out at it. Now then, West Ham want a penalty there. Again, referee unmoved. Thumped in by Hansen. Picked up by Zelen. That's a decent ball. Still plenty in the middle here. In toward Asai. Oh, and then Ueki. And Asai, surely. What a comeback. And what a way to win it. The player of the match stabs it in just as the clock goes past 90 minutes. They were 2-0 down with 82 on the clock. No wonder Šemić sprinted the length of the pitch to join in the celebrations. An incredible turnaround from West Ham United. And they lead Brighton by 3-2.
Absolutely incredible scenes here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium. I mean, they were knocking on the door for so long, and I've got to give massive credit here to that Katie Zelen ball that, you know, she's done that on the back. And then for Shakira Martinez, another incredible player today. And then to try and get that first, and then great save from Ndozi, and then for Asai just to be in the right place at the right time to get that and to get what looks like it could be the winner for West Ham. I mean, I feel very validated by my player of the match choice at this point. She deserves that, and you can see how much it means to her there, screaming with the fans, screaming with the players. I mean, what a turnaround for West Ham, and what heart they've shown to get themselves back into the game from going 2-0 down. Yeah, unbelievable.
3-3 in the league against Brighton. Got a couple of penalties. That one means even more. What an incredible turnaround in this game. Brighton staggered at how this game has got away from them. Brighton made another change in the aftermath of that goal. Nadine Nordum has been withdrawn, and Carla Camacho, as is often the case, comes off the bench. Say's got it right-hand side. You manifested that goal for Asai by giving her player of the match, I'm convinced. I
mean, I don't want to take too much credit for it. It's been a slightly easier job up here talking about the football rather than playing it, but yeah, she's been she deserved that. She absolutely deserved that. She's been so good all game. The work rate's been absolutely unmatched.
Job not quite done for West Ham yet. Still 2.5 at least to play. Here's Seike, whose goal feels like a long time ago. And toward Camacho, just arrived and cleared away. Got to hang on to it now, West Ham, having worked so hard to get back into the game. Cascarino will be able to watch that go out.
Brighton do still look like they're a bit of a threat. We've got 2 minutes left, and yeah, they are definitely racing forwards, wanting to get the equaliser and at least get a point out of this game.
West Ham looking to bring on Sorana Poubel at the next opportunity. Maybe a double change, Uendo coming on as well. Well, Rita Guarino wants to make that change. The referee says we've got to get play back underway. That goal shoots West Ham up to 10th from bottom. Martinez. Still got it. Is she heading for the corner flag or looking to get the point safe? Gone for the sensible option. It will be a goal kick.
She toyed with the idea then of trying to whip the ball in just to see if Offside might be able to get another goal, but I think it was definitely the sensible choice there. You know, you've got a minute, just over a minute left to play, and yeah, it was definitely the right call. They want to see out this game. They want to protect that win.
So now those changes can happen. That was Martinez's last involvement in the game, actually. She'll go off by the nearest exit point, being hurried up by the referee, so Poubel can come on.
Seconds left now for West Ham, and you can see the crowd really, really getting behind them.
Doesn't look like Endo is going to get on after all. Morgan on the chase here. Corrie. Ueki. Brilliant close control. Pass didn't match what had come before, but it shouldn't matter now. All down to the referee, how much longer we play for. Rita Guarino's going to get her first home WSL win, and what a way to do it. Got to be big, got to be quick now from Ndozi. Ueki's header. Morgan. Is she wanting to cross? Let's have options. Yeah, doing the sensible thing. And there is the final whistle. What a win for West Ham United. They look dead and buried with less than 10 minutes to go. But Vivian Asse's proved to be the match winner for them. They trailed by 2-0. Seke with a brilliant goal just before half-time. Venegas doubled the lead just after the hour, but Morgan off the bench, and then Martinez, 2 goalkeeping errors contributing to that, and then Assei late on. Well, Chloe, when you're in a scrap to stay in the division, this is the kind of thing that can be transformative.
These points absolutely matter, and I think it's not just the points and your placement on the board, it's what this kind of win gives you as a team. It grows confidence, it gives you belief, it tells you that you can do it, even when your backs are up against it, even when you're 2-0 down and not looking like you're getting a foothold in the game. The belief is absolutely there, and I think, you know, some key players really stepped up in this moment. Assei being one of them, Martinez, you know, Fio Morgan with 20 minutes to spare. She really had such a lot to do with, you know, being 2-0 down, but great from them. Absolutely unbelievable.
Fantastic. What a win for West Ham. They've beaten Brighton Hove Albion here by 3 goals to 2. Well, Elena Jankovic there, speaking for all of Brighton and Hove Albion. They cannot believe that this has gotten away for them. And as brilliant as it is for West Ham, Chloe, they'll be fuming, won't they, the Seagulls?
Absolutely, they've let a 2-0 lead disappear, but behind them. And I think, yeah, there were some promising moments where they had that lead, and they looked like they might even be getting that third goal. But a couple of sloppy mistakes, not great, I think, from Mendoza at the end with a couple of unfortunate ball placements. But at the same time, I mean, you've got to protect a lead like that. It means so much to a team like Brighton. So yeah, but my credit is with West Ham, because like the belief was always there, the hope was always there, and yeah, to get yourselves back into a game like that is no mean feat. It's yeah, absolutely huge.
And Rita Guarino will be absolutely ecstatic with the way that her team have turned this game around. Looked as though it was well beyond them. Well, this can set them up nicely for the rest of the season as they look to avoid that relegation playoff. Lots of smiles in that West Ham huddle now. Brighton players dejectedly trudge over to their away support in the meantime, looking pretty apologetic as they do it. But for West Ham, well, they will feel that this could well be the day that their season truly gets going. Remember, these two will do it all here again in the FA Cup in a fortnight's time. But the 3 points key for West Ham today. And let's hear from the player who wrapped them up. Vivian Asay is pitch side.
Well, Vivian, congratulations. What a game. How do you sum that up today?
It's a really good game. I really enjoy. And the good thing is, like, even when we lose 2-0, we look at each other and we say we can do it till the end. And it was a good fight, good game, and really happy to win.
Talk to me a little bit about that fight, because you were creating a lot, you were playing well. You would have been forgiven for thinking maybe you weren't getting the luck, but you stuck with it. You stayed in it right to the end.
Yeah, because me and all the team, we always believe till the end. It doesn't matter what happened during the game. The game is long, so you always have to believe, to trust. Even if you fail, it will happen a good thing at the end. And this is what happened today, and I'm really happy for that.
You hit your 100th appearance last week. You had a part in the second goal. You scored the third. What a week you're having here at West Ham. How much are you enjoying your football?
I enjoy. I really feel good here. I feel like it's my home here. So all what I want is give everything for the team, because the club did a lot of things for me. And the most enjoy with the girls. The staff work a lot for us. And it's good. It's just one game, of course. We have a lot of more games. But it's good to enjoy the comeback. And we keep going for the next games.
Well, the next game is Everton away, who are not very far from you in the table. So this must give you guys a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It will be a good game. Every game is different, but all the games are really difficult to play. But this is why we are here. Football is good. We just need to enjoy, to work hard, and like today, enjoy playing together.
Well, congratulations. You are today's Barclays Player of the Match.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, no wonder she's so happy, as are her teammates. Warmly received as she makes her way back into that huddle. There'll be some serious celebrations when they go back to the dressing room as well for West Ham. An incredible come-from-behind victory for them. Might not be so pleased when they see what's happened elsewhere, mind you. Vital that they actually came back to win this game, because look what's happened elsewhere at the foot of the table. Liverpool and Everton both winning today, so Leicester the big losers of the weekend in terms of trying to avoid the relegation playoff. But another huge result, Arsenal beating Manchester City by 1-0, strengthening their grip on a Champions League position, laying down a marker for Chelsea, and maybe even reigniting a title race. We'll have to wait and see about that. One game to come. Spurs against Chelsea gets underway in around about half an hour from now. So this is what it means for the table as we stand. Leicester sink to the bottom of the table. West Ham up to 10th as a result of this win, just above Liverpool. Brighton stay in 7th. They are very much mired in mid-table this season. Arsenal up into the Champions League places, albeit Chelsea could usurp them if they win. And City still with a very healthy lead of 8 points, despite that defeat for them today. Well worth a look back at the best bits of this game before we say goodbye. Some brilliant goals in this game, Chloe.
Absolutely
Is that the pick of the
amazing
bunch?
there. Kiko Seike, I mean, kicking off proceedings there, and it was such a great ball over the top. I mean, no one really saw it coming in a way. It was such against the run of play, but she's seen Semic off her line, and just a lovely little dink to get that over the top and really sort of like build confidence for Brighton there. The technique on it, just dipping under the bar at the last minute was absolutely outstanding.
And then just after the hour, another fine goal, particularly given that it came from a centre-half. Good job the net was there, or that ball would still be travelling.
Venegas, I mean, absolutely incredible effort from her again. It sort of felt a little bit sloppy from West Ham, and again, you know, against the run of play there, but she knew exactly what she wanted to do in that moment, took it straight past the keeper. Semic had absolutely no chance. The ball was in the back of the net before she knew what was happening, and yeah, it was, really gorgeous goal from her.
But then began the comeback of all comebacks. Big slice of luck on this from Fionn Morgan.
Lovely, lovely half cross, half shot with Ndozi just about getting a hand to it, but floating over her. She'll be super disappointed with that one. It seemed to start West Ham's comeback, and Fionn Morgan looking a little bit apprehensive whether to celebrate that one or not. But the technique was there. You know, she didn't know whether it was going to be a goal or a cross, but it happened and it went in, and West Ham just grew in confidence from this.
And Ndozi again not covering herself in glory there, allowing Martinez to get the equaliser.
Super frustrating from Ndozi. I mean, she's come out, she's done the right thing. She is a bit of a sweeper keeper. She is known to take those kind of risks, and it's a little bit unfortunate because obviously she does make the first contact with the ball, and she doesn't clear it as much as you would have liked. You've really got to put your foot through that ball. So if it does hit Shakira Martinez, it at least bounces away from her, and Martinez there just able to keep her composure and roll that one in the back of the net.
And fair play to West Ham. They weren't settling for a point, were they? And they went and won it in stoppage time.
You could definitely feel it building. It came from Katie Zellem's insight there to look for Martinez in that left-hand side, and they didn't manage to get that first effort. Great stop from Ndozi, but Asai in the right place at the right time to get that ball in the back of the net, which is something she's obviously had done, but also had difficulties doing in the first half as well. And you could see how much it meant to them in the dying minutes of the game for West Ham to steal that one and steal those 3 points. I would say they're probably more deserved winners in this match, but a very even battle between them. But yeah, great game.
Well, that was a brilliant afternoon's entertainment. I hope you enjoyed it wherever you tuned in from. West Ham United with a crucial win here as they bid to stave off the threat of relegation. Thanks to Chloe Morgan. Thank you to you as well for joining us from the Chigwell Construction Stadium. It finished West Ham United 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.